This episode of Man of Prestige in ways that you say facts over feelings. It's no wonder why she can't feel you and why you can't feel her, right? If she's expressing her feelings, you need to engage that and process that. See, the problem with feelings that men would think that we have to solve the problem. The feeling is just to be heard, right? You need to feel it, okay? Because you can feel it and you're getting triggered and you're responding the negative way. You are getting triggered, yes. So no matter how much you try to discount feelings as opposed to against facts, right? You have feelings. And the fact that you have to say facts over feelings all the time, that's your feelings talking, right? So in order to feel her, you need to connect with the idea that feelings actually drives most of the vibes around us 85% of the time. Everything we're saying, everything we're doing is based on feelings. It shows up as facts later. You can't force facts into the present. Man of Prestige, welcome back. So we're talking about 5 romantic gestures for her that no one talks about, right? Romantic gestures. So you have a nice young lady, girlfriend, wife, and you're looking for romantic gestures. I'm going to be honest with you right off the bat, okay? I'm not the type, okay? I am the kind of guy that maybe people looking from outside would consider not so romantic, right? But also I'm lucky enough to have a wife who doesn't care for things like flowers, overly chivalry, things like that, right? So I'm going to come from a different angle, but yet they are romantic gestures in their own right. And dare I say, probably the strongest of all type of romantic gestures. See, everyone can do the flower thing, open doors, draw the seats for the lady and things like those. Those are beautiful things that you can do that I actually advise that you should make a practice if you can, right? It goes further beyond just that moment. Like it's about making a lady feel special, a lady that you find value in, a lady that you like, that you're obviously in a relationship with of some sort, a romantic relationship, right? So I'm going to give you 5 different romantic gestures that nobody talks about. This is often overlooked. You'll find for the most part people are talking about flowers, buy her a cologne, buy her gifts, quality time, right? The 5 love languages, acts of service. You hear those things. Those things are more popular than anything else. But most people forget about the 5 things I'm about to share with you. Not necessarily that they forget, but more so because it's easy to overlook, right? So with that being said, number 5, listen to her. Listen to her, okay? That means you're actively listening to what she has to say. I'm not saying I agree with her. Those are 2 different things. Because at the end of the day, as a man, you want to maintain a certain level of core. As a man, right? You need to stand on your own 2 feet, 2 toes down, like they said, right? Stand for something, believe in your own belief systems, right? Yes, even outside of her. But you need to listen to her, okay? You need to listen to her because number 1, again, we're talking about making a person feel special, not making them special necessarily. If you listen to a lady, she will stay with you more so than the person that buys all the gifts, bring flower every day, but refuse to listen to her. If I were to measure which one is higher, listen to her or buy her flowers, I think you know what the answer is. Okay. Number 4, you need to hear her. Okay. You need to hear her. And what does that mean? This is the part where your listening becomes active listening. Okay. Now forget that for a second. We're taking this another level higher, right? She needs to feel heard. Okay. It's not even about hearing her. Because you can argue that you heard her, right? But she needs to feel like you heard her, right? She needs to feel like you were listening and you listened to understand and not necessarily listening to respond. Okay? This is the part that a lot of people miss it, right? You need to make sure she feels heard. All right? Number 3, you need to see her. She needs to feel seen. Likewise, like the other one I just said, she needs to feel seen. Now, you will hear a lot of ladies will tell you like, I don't feel heard. I don't feel seen. I feel like I'm just, you know, when people say I feel lonely in a relationship, it's a terrible place to be at. I've seen a few quotes in the past few days. People say it's actually worse to be lonely in a relationship than to be lonely as a single person. That is very true. I just feel like that's going to be bastardized like most other quotes out there, right? But it's actually very true, right? Imagine feeling lonely, feeling like you're like like your significant other does not give you attention. Now, as a man, you really should never be in this position, but it does happen. Okay, you should never be in a position where you feel uh, like you're gonna come off as needy and you need validations, right? And that's another topic. There's a way to mitigate that without putting that kind of weight on a lady, right? But the key thing that I want you to note there is that men, we also value validation. We shouldn't be needy. We shouldn't be seeking validation, but we value when we do get that because we're humans like everybody else, right? So hear her, see her. You need to make sure she feels seen. You see her until she feels seen. That means she can't get enough of you. She's already getting more than enough of you, and she's not whining or complaining about not getting attention from you, right? Number two, you need to feel her. Okay, yeah, physically feel her, feel that butt, feel her body, right? If this is a person you're with, of course, with consent, right? If this is not your girlfriend, please, okay? But more so, more importantly, I am talking about feeling her from an emotional standpoint. You know, if you move in ways that you say facts over feelings, it's no wonder why she can't feel you and why you can't feel her, right? If she's expressing her feelings, you need to engage that and process that. See, the problem with feelings is that men would think that we have to solve the problem. The feeling is just to be heard, right? You need to feel it, okay? Because you can feel it and you're getting triggered and you're responding the negative way. You are getting triggered, yes. So no matter how much you try to discount feelings as opposed to against facts, right? You have feelings. And the fact that you have to say facts over feelings all the time, that's your feelings talking, right? So in order to feel her, you need to connect with the idea that feelings actually drives most of the vibes around us 85% of the time. Everything we're saying, everything we're doing is based on feelings. It shows up as facts later. You can't force facts into the present. You need to learn how to live in the present with your lady, and that's what I mean by feeling her. Until she feels like she can feel you as well. She feels that's what creates connection with her. You will hear a lot of women will say things like, I feel disconnected. I feel like we lost connection. And it happens to me too, right? It's actually a struggle of mine, but I'm aware. So I won 85% of the battle by just being aware. But it's something that happens to me. It's pretty natural. But if you dismiss it, it's going to work against you. Because it's actually a fact, it's reality that's gonna work against you, right? So number one, you need to love her. This is scriptural, right? Especially if we're talking about your wife, you need to love her. Nah, I'm not talking about respect her. I know she asked you for respect. Fuck that, okay? You need to love her. If you're loving her, trust me, she's not asking you for respect. What does love mean? You're giving, but you start with giving to self, right? But you focus on giving and not what you're going to take, not what she brings to the table. You focus on the choices you make from women when it comes to making a choice of a woman, but you focus on giving to self and then giving to her and stop worrying about what she brings to the table. You don't have to listen to me, but there's a result for people that move that way. And you can just look at the result across board. You attract the wrong energy from a lady when you're looking for what she brings to the table, right? So you need to focus on loving her, and it means giving.